Coming to you live, this is a special news update from our own Desmond Hume in the news field with a story that will change the way you fill up at the pump. And now, our own Desmond Hume. Thank you, Matt. Good evening, everyone. My name is Desmond Hume. We all have them and use them every day to get us from point A to point B, and we all try to have the nicest one in the neighborhood. I'm talking, of course, about cars. Cars are a staple in the American dream, and everyone always wants to own a nicer one than their neighbor. However, with all these cars, people need some sort of cheap fuel to keep them running. Ever since gasoline has started to run out, scientists have been looking for fuel alternatives. One of these alternatives is ethanol. Ethanol is created when corn and other food or bioproducts are distilled to create an alcoholic substance, which is then mixed with the gasoline, so that less gasoline must be used per gallon. However, this mixture is turning out to be more harmful than it seems.
These are just some facts that not most people know. It takes more energy to convert ethanol than ethanol produces. The increase in the production of ethanol has caused a rise in the price of what used to be cheap crops, and people are not able to feed their families. Over the years, studies have proven putting ethanol into gasoline has caused a deterioration and destruction to car parts, including engines. In order to further study this analysis, I flew to Nebraska, one of the biggest producers of corn in the US, to find out what's going on. As you can see behind me, there are millions and millions of corn crops. Many farmers are being paid by the government to grow these crops for the sole purpose of converting them into ethanol by getting paid a subsidy. I wanted to talk to the local farmers and tell them about the facts that I uncovered. Hello, Farmer Joe. How are you doing? I'm doing well. That's good. So I'm here investigating this corn and how growing it for the purpose of ethanol is actually hurting people more than helping them. Well, how so? Well, did you know that it takes more energy to convert this corn into ethanol than it does to grow it? Yes, well, that's all true. But did you know the more ethanol that is added to gasoline, the cheaper the gasoline becomes? And we all like cheap gas. I mean, who doesn't like cheap gas? Anyway, the government pays me to grow this corn for the sole purpose of converting it. Well, Farmer Joe, that is a good point. But at what cost to the people of this world? People in third world countries and developing countries can't even afford food because of the price of corn and other products which we convert into fuel has risen so much they can't even afford to feed their families. Is that really worth it? Look, I just get paid to grow this corn by the government. Now just let me work and collect my subsidy. Farmer Joe, I realize you're only trying to make a living. I understand you. I just think that we need to go towards other alternatives of fuel, because ethanol and gasoline will soon run out and we can't be destroying this earth. Thank you for your time and for a great interview. Have a great day. Next, I had to fly to California and find out the truth about the destruction of engines by ethanol. Hello, Dr. Oktovic. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Well, that's good to hear. I'll cut right to the point. Is it true that people have been experiencing more and more problems from their cars, from deterioration, from the use of ethanol in gasoline? Yes, Desmond, that is in fact true. All over the world, people are experiencing more and more problems from ethanol being added to the gasoline. Just one case is in Texas, where a man who owned a truck brought it into a repair shop to find out that the source of the damage was 18% ethanol that had been added to the car's fuel, which destroyed the car's fuel pump, costing the man almost $900 US. Another car manufacturer, Lexus, had a massive recall of all its 2006 and 2008 models because ethanol began to corrode the internal surface of the fuel rails, causing a leak that will eventually cause the car to start on fire. All this being said, I can't understand why more and more ethanol is being added to gasoline. There are some places in the country that have 80% ethanol, 20% gasoline. Yes, this is causing the price of gasoline to go down. No one's arguing that. But in the long run, we're destroying our engines, and it's not good for what we're doing to the environment and the people. Thank you, Dr. Tavis. So all this research has proven one thing. Ethanol in the long run is bad for cars. Number one, it hurts people because they can't afford food. Number two, it actually destroys the car itself. Number three, it actually takes more energy to produce it into ethanol than ethanol actually will produce in the long run. All this being said, there's only one solution to this problem. We need to look for alternative sources of energy, such as electric, wind, and other sources. We can't be relying all our lives on fossil fuels such as gasoline. We need to take the next step into the future and move towards a better tomorrow. Thank you to all my guests, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. This is Desmond Hume, signing off.